You've heard it 1,000 times. The opposite of love is hate. It sounds poetic. It feels deep, but it's wrong. If you boil hate down to its core, what you'll always find underneath is fear. That's why people who hate trans people are called transphobic. They're not powerful in their hate. They're fragile in their fear. People who hate another race, religion, or identity are terrified of losing the illusion of control. Hate is fear turned outward. And here's the plot twist. The same fear that produces hate is the same fear most people call love. And that's exactly what we're going to be getting into in today's video. Before I get into that, if you are new to me, hi, I am Alchemistic. I post content on manifestation. If you'd like to work with me personally, links to my services is in the description. Let's go ahead and get into this. I want to talk about the greatest misunderstanding when it comes to love. Most people have never actually loved. They've only ever attached. They've mistaken anxiety for connection and control for care. When someone says, "I can't live without them," that isn't love. That's panic. It's fear saying, without that reflection, I don't know who I am. Love doesn't say, "I need you." Love says, "I see you," from wholeness. Love isn't survival. Love is being. But our culture worships codependency and calls it romance. It sells panic as passion. And then people wonder why what they call love keeps collapsing. Because fear can't sustain what only love can be. Fear is clever. It doesn't always look dramatic. It looks reasonable. It says things like, "Why haven't they texted yet? Maybe I need to visualize more. Maybe I need to do more affirmations. Maybe I messed up my manifestation." That's not intuition. That's the identity of lack pretending to be logic. It's the self that's still trying to get instead of be. Fear says, if I can control the reflection, I'll feel safe. Love says, because I am safety, the reflection conforms to me. One lives in separation. The other selects wholeness now. Love, real love, isn't butterflies or chaos. It's peace. It's Zen. It's the still awareness of I am. It's not the high of being chosen. It's the knowing you are the chooser. Love isn't an emotion you chase. It's the state you remember. When you rest in it, there's no waiting, no hoping, no needing evidence. You move as the self who already is the experience. Because all versions of reality exist right now. And you're simply identifying with the one you prefer. That's the love of God. That's self as source. And it's the only form of love that lasts, because it depends on no one else to confirm it. Let's talk about fear versus love as identities. Here's where most people get tangled. They try to shift realities from fear, from lack, from the identity of the one waiting. But fear and love are completely different selves. Fear says, what if it never happens? Love says it already is. Fear looks to the 3D for proof. Love knows the 3D is just one reflection among infinite selections. Fear scrambles for reassurance. Love doesn't need it. It's the state from which reassurance is born. The second you choose the identity of the one who has, you're not waiting for anything to change. You're simply aware of the version where it already has. That's selection, not creation. So what is love? Not chemistry, not emotion, not another person. Love is the awareness of I am. It's the remembrance that there's no separation between you, God, and what you desire. Because it's all the same consciousness expressing through different perspectives. That's why perfect love casts out fear. Not because it fights it, but because once you know yourself as love, fear ceases to exist. Love is the end of confusion, the end of pretending to be small, the end of identifying as the one who doesn't have. Love is the state of already being. And when you're in that awareness, nothing is missing because you aren't missing. So no, the opposite of love isn't hate. It's fear. Fear pretending to be passion. Fear dressed up as attachment. Fear whispering, I can't live without you. Once you recognize that, you start loving differently. You start selecting differently. You start being differently. Because when you know yourself as love, you stop chasing reflections of it. I will have a part 2 to this video, the opposite of love is not hate, that will go even deeper. We're going to really deep dive into this. That will be over on my members channel and on my school community. If you want to check those out, information is below. So that's it, guys. I hope you resonated with this. I hope you got something from this. And it's actually by knowing that you did. So I want you to comment below, tell me what you took away from this lesson, what you took away from this video. This video was actually inspired by a client of mine because I teach this in my personal coaching. And she said, why don't you make a video about this? So this is the video. Impromptu. I kind of wrote down a few things that I wanted to say and I riffed the rest. But tell me, guys, what shifted you the most out of the things that I said? What was your aha moment? I'd love to hear it. And again, if you'd like to work with me personally, links to my services is in the description. I also have a free self-concept guide if you want to check that out. It is absolutely free to download. Link is in the description. And I have a member site in my channel here, as well as a school community that the next video will be posted on. So you can check that out there as well, whichever one that you prefer. And guys, I just released, because I'm releasing this video in October, my enrollment for my 28-day Manifest SP intensive. So if you watch this video with an SP in mind and you feel a little stuck, you feel like you need a little bit more structure than just a video, check that out. Link is in the description. Enrollment is now until the 31st and spots are limited. Once the spots fill up, the doors close, or until the 31st, everything will close down. And I will not be running another SP intensive until next year. So after the holidays. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Information is below. But regardless, I know no matter who's watching my videos, day or night, you're about to have the best day or night of your life. And I already know that that's the case for you. Take care.